In a case that has sparked nationwide controversy, the police's decision to reveal the identities of suspects involved in a high-profile investigation has caused outrage and drawn sharp criticism. At the center of this uproar is none other than Jungkook's legal team, who have launched an unprecedented response, sparking questions about the legality, ethics, and consequences of the police's actions. But why did the beloved global star's name become entangled in this chaotic storm? And why is his lawyer making headlines with such bold moves? When authorities announced they would release the names and faces of suspects involved in a widely followed criminal case, the public's response was instant and polarizing. Some praised the transparency, arguing it was a step toward justice, while others condemned it as a violation of human rights. Among the names dragged into this whirlwind was an unexpected one: Jungkook. Though not directly implicated in any crime, the police's handling of the case somehow involved the BTS superstar. This revelation left fans in shock, with questions echoing across social media. What does Jungkook have to do with this? Adding fuel to the fire, Jungkook's legal representative, a high-profile lawyer known for their no-nonsense approach, took matters into their own hands. With an emergency press conference called late last night, they slammed the police's actions as reckless and damaging, hinting at a brewing legal battle. But what exactly happened behind the scenes? And why is this move considered one of the boldest by any celebrity's legal team to date? The case that brought this issue to light began weeks ago, involving a high-stakes investigation into an alleged fraud scheme with millions at stake. As the police unraveled the web of suspects, they made the controversial decision to reveal the faces of those under investigation, citing public interest as their justification. While this practice isn't entirely unheard of, it has rarely been employed in cases that are still under active investigation. Critics have called it a public execution of reputation, claiming that it unfairly brands suspects as guilty before their day in court. But the twist came when it was revealed that one of the suspects had ties, however tenuous, to Jungkook. Rumors began circulating online, with some alleging that the singer might have unknowingly crossed paths with one of the accused. While these claims were quickly debunked, the damage had already been done. Social media was ablaze, with hashtags like #JusticeForJungkook and #PoliceAbuseOfPower trending worldwide. In a move that shocked even seasoned legal experts, Jungkook's attorney issued a public demand for an apology from law enforcement, claiming their actions had caused irreparable harm to their client's reputation. They further accused the police of exploiting Jungkook's global fame to divert attention from their mishandling of the case. The release of suspect identities is problematic in itself, but to drag an innocent person into this chaos is beyond unacceptable, the lawyer declared during the press conference. The legal team's statement also hinted at the possibility of filing defamation lawsuits against those who spread false rumors about Jungkook online. This is not just about clearing our client's name. It's about setting a precedent that no one, not even the authorities, can use a person's fame to serve their agenda. The lawyer said, the revelation has split public opinion down the middle. While many fans and human rights activists have rallied behind Jungkook's legal team, applauding their courage to stand up against systemic issues, others have criticized the move as dramatic and unnecessary. Some even questioned whether Jungkook's legal team might be using this controversy to garner sympathy and shift public focus. Adding another layer of intrigue, several former police officials have come forward to defend the institution, claiming that revealing suspects' identities is sometimes necessary to protect public safety. This is a matter of transparency, one retired officer stated. The public deserves to know who is under investigation, especially in cases involving large-scale fraud. But critics argue this approach undermines the principle of innocent until proven guilty and could have devastating consequences for those falsely accused. One legal expert pointed out, the damage to a person's reputation from being publicly named as a suspect is often irreversible, even if they are later found innocent. This practice needs to be revisited. Armies, the dedicated fanbase of BTS, have mobilized in force, demanding accountability from both the police and those responsible for spreading false information. Using platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, fans have flooded timelines with messages of support for Jungkook, calling for systemic reforms to prevent similar incidents in the future. One fan wrote, "This isn't just about Jungkook. This is about protecting everyone's right to a fair investigation without public interference. The police should be ashamed." Another added, "Why are the police using Jungkook's name to cover their incompetence? This is not okay." This case raises broader questions about the role of law enforcement in modern society. Is the public entitled to know the identities of suspects, or does this practice jeopardize fundamental rights? Should public figures like Jungkook be treated differently when implicated, fairly or unfairly? In legal controversies, legal scholars warn that this incident could set a dangerous precedent. If the police are allowed to release suspect identities without consequence, it could lead to a culture of trial by media, where public perception determines guilt rather than the legal system. One professor stated, and on the other hand, proponents argue that transparency can serve as a powerful tool in ensuring accountability and deterring crime. In cases of corruption or fraud, public pressure can force suspects to come forward and cooperate with investigators. An advocate for open governance argue, as the legal battle looms, all eyes are on Jungkook's legal team and their next move. Will they pursue a full-scale lawsuit against the police for defamation and negligence? Or will they opt for a quieter resolution behind closed doors? The police, for their part, have remained largely silent, with a spokesperson issuing only a brief statement defending their decision. "Our actions were in line with existing protocols and aimed at serving the public interest," the statement read. But will this justification hold up under the intense scrutiny it's now facing? And what about the other suspects whose identities were also revealed? Will they also seek justice, or will their cases be overshadowed by Jungkook's high-profile involvement? This unfolding saga highlights the tensions between transparency, accountability, and individual rights in the digital age. With emotions running high and stakes even higher, it's clear that this case is far from over for now. Fans and critics alike can only watch and wait as the drama continues to unfold. One thing is certain: this case has opened Pandora's box, and its repercussions will be felt far beyond the headlines. As the fallout from the police's controversial decision continues, legal experts and civil rights advocates alike are predicting a long and drawn-out battle. Jungkook's legal team has already hinted that they are willing to take this fight all the way to the highest courts if necessary. But the real question remains: will this case force law enforcement to reevaluate their approach to publicizing suspect identities, or will it fade into yet another forgotten controversy? Jungkook's lawyer, in a follow-up statement, didn't mince words when addressing the potential broader implications of the case. "This isn't just about our client. This is about protecting the fundamental principles of fairness and justice. No one should ever have to go through what Jungkook has faced in the past 48 hours, being dragged into a situation he has no connection to simply because of his fame." The lawyer went on to emphasize that public figures are not immune to harm, even if they have millions of supporters behind them. The idea that celebrities can just shrug off these types of accusations because of their fame is deeply flawed. If anything, their visibility makes them even more vulnerable to these kinds of attacks. This needs to stop. While Jungkook's legal team has taken an aggressive and public stance, the police have largely remained tight-lipped. Their refusal to directly address the controversy has only added to the tension surrounding the case. Sources close to the department suggest that the decision to release the suspects' identities was made at the highest levels, with the intention of demonstrating transparency to a skeptical public. However, insiders have also hinted at possible internal divisions within the department, with some officers reportedly questioning whether the move was premature. There's a growing sense of unease among rank-and-file officers, one anonymous source revealed. Many of us feel that this decision has backfired spectacularly and that the damage to public trust may outweigh any potential benefits. But the lack of a direct response from law enforcement hasn't stopped speculation. Some have suggested that the police's decision to involve Jungkook's name, however tangentially, was a deliberate strategy to shift attention away from their mishandling of other aspects of the case. If this theory is proven true, it could spark an even greater public outcry and potentially lead to disciplinary actions within the department, and an era where information and misinformation spreads like wildfire. The role of social media in amplifying the controversy cannot be overstated. Within hours of the police's announce,